Today we're happy to have with us Buffalo Grove, Illinois native, Sandra Torres, who is a general assignment reporter with CBS 2. She comes to us from Milwaukee, where she was the lead reporter for CBS 58. She also worked for sister station WYTU as a producer and co-anchor for Telemundo, Wisconsin. Prior to her time in Milwaukee, Torres worked in Chicago at WMAQ, where she was a morning news content producer. Prior to that, she worked as a general assignment reporter and fill-in weather anchor at WSNS-TV, the Telemundo station in Chicago. While at SNS, she also appeared on network shows, including Noticiero Telemundo and Al Rojo Diva. Torres began her career at Illinois State in Normal, at TV 10 News, where I think she met your instructor.
Yeah.
She anchored there, reported, and was a photojournalist for the school's television station. After graduating from ISU, she interned for WMBD TV in Peoria, and then was also an instructor for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, as we were known at the time, in Lombard. So we're really happy that she's decided to come down to Chicago, come over from CBS to talk to you guys. So let's give Sandra a nice
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. It's so nice to be here. I had not seen the downtown campus, and it's amazing what they have done with this place. I taught between, I believe, 2009 and 2010-ish, 2011, in the Lombard campus, and of course a lot has changed. The name changed. They have a lot more classes, and they're teaching you a lot of different things because the industry is changing so much, right? So it's great to be here. I gotta say, I'm so happy to be back in Chicago. I was in Milwaukee for 4 years. I took a huge risk to move to Milwaukee because my dream was to be a reporter in an English station in Chicago. The majority of my career was in Spanish. So going from Telemundo Chicago to be a producer on NBC5 was great. I was making great money. I thought everything was perfect. And then I realized, you know what, it's not what I want to do. I really just wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be a storyteller in the field, interviewing and doing it in Chicago, and one of the major stations was just a dream of mine since I was at Illinois State. So I took the risk. I moved to Milwaukee and I became a multimedia journalist. Does anybody know what that means? No? So MMJ, or multimedia journalist, means that you're doing it all. So I was shooting video, I was editing video, I was doing my own live shots, and I was doing my own reports. So it was really hard. You know, it's going from having a photographer at Telemundo Chicago to even being a producer and having a photographer to doing everything by myself. And you know what really helped me was my studies. Going to Illinois State, we had a program very similar to what you guys have here, where you learn everything, and that is so important. I'm so thankful for my teacher at Illinois State because she really pushed us to know everything that had to do with television production, what it took to be in a newsroom, period. So I took that risk. I had not shot video in a long time before I went to Milwaukee, but I sold them on it. I said, I can do this, I can edit video, I've done it before, I can use the system, even though I didn't know how to use the system. I just taught myself, and it was a learning experience. I felt like I was, you know, starting over from scratch. But 4 years, and I could do a 4:30 show, a 5 show, a 5:30 show, and a 10 o'clock newscast, and I did it all by myself. And I'm not trying to be like showing off or anything. I'm just telling you that once you do it for a long time and you practice, it really, really helps. So for me, it was so important and critical because when I got to CBS and they actually gave me the job that I dreamed of, I thought, oh, I'm done with shooting. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Well, guess what? 2 weeks in, they asked me if I could go shoot and edit my own story at CBS in Chicago, and that's unprecedented. You don't see that in the Chicago market, and Chicago's #3 in the nation. I don't know if you guys are aware of how the markets work, and for that to happen, it just means there's a transition going. So for people like you, who are learning everything, don't think that you're not going to have to shoot video or edit video, and you just want to be on camera. That's not going to happen anymore, you know? And you guys have everything here at your disposal. So take advantage of it. Don't just come to class. I mean, really, I know that you guys are really open about coming on your own time, and I can't stress that enough. It's so important. You're not just going to learn everything in class. You have to practice, practice, practice. It's so important. Yes.
That actually goes to my question. You do like a lot of live reports and stuff. How do you prep for that?
For live reports?
Yeah, for any report.
Sure. So live reporting is a whole different beast, and I did not realize it until I went to Milwaukee, because when I was at Telemundo, they didn't do a lot of live stuff. And when I was there, they threw me onto the morning show, and that's 8 live hits in the morning. And you have to try to make it different every time. And it's basically ad-libbing. You don't have a teleprompter in front of you. So, being live is a beast because you just have to know your story. That's the key. It's not about memorizing your lines. It's about knowing your story and delivering it in a way that kind of expresses urgency, but at the same time, you have to sound natural. So for me, it's just understanding my story really well, researching it really well, so that when I'm about to go on the air, I know what I want to say and convey, and I have to say it in 10 seconds. That's pretty much it. 10 seconds in, 10 seconds out. That's all I have. So, and here's another twist to the story. So CBS does a minute 10 packages. What do you guys teach here for packages? Minute 30?
Minute 30-ish,
Yeah, and that's what we learned at Illinois State. It was a minute 30. I went to Milwaukee, it was a minute 20. And I got here and it's a minute 10. So imagine trying to tell a story in a minute and 10 seconds. It's so hard, but it's fun when you get it. I get 109, I'm like, yes! So learn how to condense stories and to really summarize something into such a small period of time. I mean, it's really hard, but it's fun when you get it. So try to learn how to write in shorter sentences and to really be active in your writing. That's really important. Well, I truly believe in what ICB, or Illinois Media School, is doing now, because they really are teaching students what they need to know about being hands-on, and that is so important. The skills that you learned here are exactly what you learn in an internship, and basically it's putting them in a place that they're step ahead of the game. So it's really important to come here to really take advantage of all of the classes, of all of the instructors, and all of the resources that they're offering, because that's exactly what you're going to do when you're out in the real world.
Okay, that's good.